Hi gang! This is a neat inchworm toy I made using a shape memory alloy called Nitinol Wire. I'll show you how I made it. As for how it works, I explained that in this other video. Briefly though, I apply electricity to this nitinol wire down here, heating it. When it heats, it goes to this compressed coil shape that I made it remember. That pulls the back leg forward. At the same time, that also compresses this V-shaped spring on top. When I turn off the electricity, the nitinol wire coil weakens, and the spring expands, opening the legs again, completing a single step. Here's how I made it. I start by getting this nitinol wire to remember the compressed coil shape. To do that, I coil it around a piece of thick clothes hanger wire, with some additional pieces to help hold it in place. Then I heat it in a candle flame until it's red hot, shooting for 500 Celsius or 930 Fahrenheit. I then dip it in cold water. The shape will now be remembered. I test it by connecting it to an electrical source, in this case my homemade 0 to 24 volt DC power supply. I have a potentiometer or variable resistor to help control the electrical current, and a meter to tell me what the current is. I stretch out the wire, and when I run around 1 amp of current through it, the nitinol wire heats up and goes back to its remembered shape. It works. Next I get out this piece of balsa wood and cut it up. I make a sort of hinge out of it by making holes in 3 of the pieces and pushing a bit of thick copper wire through them. Then I glue the other parts on. Notice that one leg is longer than the other. I find that helps to get one-way motion. The nitinol coil will go here, connecting to the bottom of this leg and near the top of this leg. Again, that's for one-way motion. I then put some staples in the legs here, and more here for later. I make 2 holes using a sewing needle, and then push one end of the coil through one hole, and use a staple to hold it in place. I push the other end through the other hole, and use the other staple to hold that one. I then run the ends of some thin, flexible copper wire under those same staples. That's to make electrical contact with the nitinol wire. The electricity will go from one copper wire to the staple, through the nitinol wire, through the other staple, and out the other copper wire. Before testing it, I need to add the feet. I cut some half circles out of plastic electrical conduit. I have this Velcro which consists of 2 strips of material, one with hooks and one that's just brush-like. I take some of the brush-like material and glue it to the half circles. I then hot glue the result onto the inchworm as the feet. And here it is in the test setup. I stretch it out, turn on the electricity, and the nitinol wire heats up and goes back to its remembered shape. Notice that mostly only the back leg moved, which is a good sign, though we're not done yet. Notice that once it's back to its remembered shape, even once it's cooled off, it stays like that, more or less. But I need a way for the legs to open up again. For that I need a metal that when manually compressed and then let go, will go back to its original shape. Coiled up normal copper electrical wire sort of does that, but the type of wire used in these springs works even better. So I'd cut some wire from the spring and reshaped it into a V shape, like this. When I compress it and then let go, it springs back to the V shape. And here I attach the spring with the staples I'd added earlier. When I compress the legs, that spring opens the legs again. Finally, I put it in the test setup and turn it on. The nitinol wire heats up, going to its remembered shape. I turn off the electricity. The nitinol wire cools, and the V-shaped spring opens the legs again. And so on. Well, thanks for watching. See my YouTube channel, rimstar.org, for more neat videos like this. That includes one explaining more about nitinol wire, along with more demos. Another on how to make an electrolytic capacitor using stuff from your kitchen. And one explaining how a crystal radio works. And don't forget to subscribe if you like these videos, or give a thumbs up, or leave a question or comment below. See you in a bit.